Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Yohanan or John chapter 15, verses 10 through 12. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, this joy.
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I
The oracles of the UCI, 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. You therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth, therefore let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Which is peace on Yahweh's Holy Sabbath Day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. One of the things that we have to make sure that we understand, especially as we gather together to keep the holy days that Yahweh has given unto us, is making sure that we offer an unblemished offering. You know that, we've heard time and time again about offerings in the financial area, but every bit of our time is an offering unto our Elohim. And you have to ask yourself, which one is more precious unto him? Some people don't have the opportunity to offer their time because they're far away. So their financial offerings are indeed their work. So it is very important unto them. For those that are near, that have the ability to offer time, that time is of great value unto Yahweh. We have to consider there's nothing we can give Yahweh financially that he doesn't have. Everything that we give to him is already his. But our time, though, is different because it is yours, and you still have this free will, but you also have this ability to have a certain demeanor while you're offering it. And the demeanor that you have while offering the time either makes your offering a plus or a minus. You can offer time, but offer it in the wrong spirit, and then now it is not accounted unto you. It is now a blemished sacrifice. even though you've done all of these things. But the spirit in which it was done ends up affecting how that offering is accepted. Now, the time we offer unto our Elohim is of great value for our benefit. Understanding that our time is a spiritual sacrifice, we must remember what is written. If you offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? And if you offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Offer it now unto your governor. Will he be pleased with you or accept your person, says Yahweh of hosts. Let's begin today's sermon in Leviticus chapter 22. And we're going to start at verse 17. And today's sermon is entitled, The Offering of the Unblemished. The Offering of the Unblemished.
Leviticus chapter 22 and verse 17. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and to his sons, and unto all the children of Israel, and say unto them, Whatsoever he be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers in Israel, that will offer his oblation for all his vows, and for all his freewill offerings, which they will offer unto Yahweh for a burnt offering, you shall offer it at your own will, a male without blemish, of the beeves, of the sheep, or of the goats.
Now, the time that we offer is a free will offering. When we said, okay, we're going to get together and we're going to fix this, so we're going to help decorate for that, or we're going to go and set up this. These are our free will offerings. We have to understand that these burnt offerings, all of those things are going to be reinstituted. So offerings didn't stop, they changed in nature. Go ahead.
But whatsoever has a blemish, that shall you not offer, for it shall not be acceptable for you.
If you already know that you're in a bad spirit, you need to be very careful how you operate while you are then offering your time. Because you may taint your own time because of the spirit that you are entertaining. And it may be something that's truly happening or going on within your spirit. You may have to say, you know what, my spirit is so bad that I don't want to cause any other issues. I might be a little late today, or I might not come in today. My spirit is severely bothered right now. Now, there's some of us, no matter how, and this is where you see the seniority level within the word, where it doesn't matter how or what we going through. We going. And you find that sometimes you even forget that you had an issue while you were serving. But you have to be at a level to be able to do that. Go ahead.
And whosoever offers a sacrifice of peace offerings unto Yahweh to accomplish his vow, or a freewill offering in beeves or sheep, it shall be perfect to be accepted.
It shall be perfect to be accepted. If it's not perfect, it will not be accepted. Perfection is the best that you can do. I will not be graded by Priest Kish perfection. I'm going to be graded by my perfection. See, he's not going to come at me and say, well, Priest Kish was able to do that, so you should be able to do that. No. He knows my level. He knows how many talents he gave me. So the same thing that may be perfect for him may get me thrown in the lake of fire. Because he's going to be looking at me like, no. I know what I gave you. So if you offer the same thing that he offered, you hitting the fire. It says he passed out talents. 1 talent, 2 talent, 5 talent. You think the one with 5 talents can come and offer the same thing as the one who had 1? Go ahead.
There shall be no blemish therein. Blind or broken or maimed or having a wean or scurvy or scab, you shall not offer these unto Yahweh, nor make an offering by fire of them upon the altar unto Yahweh. Either a bullock or a lamb that has anything superfluous or lacking in its parts, that mayeth you offer for a freewill offering, but for a vow it shall not be accepted. You shall not offer unto Yahweh that which is bruised or crushed, or broken or cut. Neither shall you make any offering thereof in your land. Neither from a stranger's hand shall you offer the bread of your Elohim of any of these, because their corruption is in them, and blemishes be in them. They shall not be accepted for you.
They shall not be accepted for you. Go ahead.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, when a bullock or a sheep or a goat is brought forth, then it shall be 7 days under the dam, and from the 8th day and thenceforth it shall be accepted for an offering made by fire unto Yahweh.
All right. So understanding what these offerings mean, we have to consider that sometimes we have to consider our position in something and how much we need to do based on the position that Yahweh has put us in. Sometimes this causes an issue because we may overstate our importance in a situation. Let's go to Esther chapter 4.
Esther chapter 4 and verse 7. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay the king's treasuries for the Yehudims to destroy them. Also he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king, to make supplication unto him, and to make request before him for her people.
Mm-hmm.
And Hatak came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again Esther spake unto Hatak, and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. All the king's servants and the people of the king's province do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, should come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But if I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days, and they told Mordecai Esther's words.
All right. So Esther said, well, wait a minute. This could be dangerous for me. So this could be dangerous for me singularly. But what's going to happen is going to happen to the whole nation if there's no move made. Go ahead.
And Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with yourself that you shall escape in the king's house more than all the Yehudim.
Right. Your position seems secure. But if Yahweh has indeed put you in this position to be able to save your people, I guarantee you your position ain't going to save you. Go ahead.
If you altogether holdeth your peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Yehudims from another place. But you and your father's house shall be destroyed. And who knows whether you are come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
Who knows whether or not this is the reason you are in that position and a place so that you can do what you need to do. See, there's a sacrifice on each level. She says, all right, now look, if I make this move and he doesn't hold out that scepter and say, come in, I have a problem. It's a sacrifice all the way across the board. And after her being told that, she made the decision to do just what was asked of her. Let's go to Matthew chapter 3.
You know, Elder, and that's the problem with positions when you have those people who get a position and all they see is the position. Now the position has made them and they're not looking at, I've got people under me. Let's look at the best interest of this group that's under me that I have to now lead.
That's what leadership is all about. Sometimes, people get so drunk with the power that they forget what the power is for. Matthew chapter 3, and we're going to read verses 1 through 10. And we never considered that a job could merely be an audition for another job. So then we get one job that has a little bit of power, and we act so reckless with that little bit of power, we have then made ourselves ineligible for the next level of job because of how we did with that little bit of power. So if you operate it like this with this little bit of power, if you don't fix that, you cannot be even thought of for the next level, because the next level has even more power. And if you're reckless with a little power, you're going to be completely reckless with a lot of power. Go ahead.
In those days came Johannes the Baptist, preaching in the wilderness of Judea, and saying, Repent you, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For this is he that was spoken of by the prophet Esaias, saying, The voice of one crying in the wilderness, Prepare you the way of the Adonai, make his path straight. And the same Johanan had his raiment of camel's hair, and a leathern girdle about his loins, and his meat was locusts and wild honey. Then went to him Jerusalem, and all Judea, and all the region round about Jordan, and were baptized of him in Jordan, confessing their sins. But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who have warned you to flee from the wrath to come?
Now, wait a minute. Verse 7, but when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees, these are people with prominence, okay? So they believe that they have a strong standing in the overall circle of things. Go ahead.
Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance.
He says y'all not meet for repentance, meaning you're not fit for repentance. Go ahead.
And think not to say within yourselves, We have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you, that Elohim is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham.
Now wait a minute. If Elohim is able to raise up stones, please don't overstate your importance in any situation dealing with Yahweh. I don't care if you the head dude or the dude at the door. Please don't overstate your importance. Go ahead.
And now also the axe is laid on to the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which brings not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Now, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 11, because the children of Israel have a habit of overstating our place in Yahweh's whole plight for the children of Israel. Because, obviously, we're the only nation that stood at that mount and received all of those commandments, laws, statutes, and judgments. So now, Israel says, well, wait a minute, we are a part of the entire scope of things. So you can't do away with us. Wrong answer. See, we then realized that we didn't know Yahweh's law like he knew his law. As he goes about to rearrange his covenant and still keep the covenant. Ezekiel chapter 11, let's start at verse 1.
Moreover, the Spirit lifted me up and brought me unto the east gate of Yahweh's house, which looks eastward. And behold, at the door of the gate, 25 men, among whom I saw Yazaniah, the son of Azor, and Pelathiah, the son of Benaiah, princes of the people. Then said he unto me, Son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in this city, which say, It is not near. Let us build houses. This city is the cauldron, and we be the flesh.
Wait a minute. They said the city is the cauldron, and we are the flesh in the cauldron. There can't nothing happen to us because we bear the holy name of our Elohim. Never mind, we're not doing any of those things that we were commanded to do. But we got the name, though. Go ahead.
Therefore prophesy against them. Prophesy, O son of man. And the Spirit of Yahweh fell upon me. And I said unto me, Speak, thus says Yahweh. Thus have you said, O house of Israel, for I know the things that come into your mind, every one of them.
Stop and think about that for a second. And just pause. I need you to think about what you just heard. I know the things that go in your mind, every one of them. See, we all know that we are much more foul than people see us to be. Because, see, there's the foul stuff that we've said, and then there's the foul stuff that we thought that we never did say. So if you thought we was foul by what we said, you should have heard what we had in here that we didn't say. He says, I know every last one of them. That should make us want to work better. You see, we have a tendency to only think that we have to deal with the minuses that we were caught doing. So, I wasn't caught doing that. So, Yahweh can't hold that against me. Wait a minute. He says, I know every last one of them thoughts. See, we don't think we have to work for the thoughts. We don't think we got to work for those. This is what makes us feel like, you know what, I'm justified, I've done enough. I'm justified, I've given enough. But
he goes ahead and tells us that you'll be judged for your very thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You have multiplied your slain in this city, and you have filled the streets thereof with the slain. Therefore thus says the Adonai Elohim, your slain, whom you have laid in the midst of it, they are the flesh. And this city is the cauldron, but I'll bring you forth out of the midst of it. You have feared the sword, and I will bring a sword upon you, says the Adonai Elohim. And I'll bring you out of the midst thereof, and deliver you into the hands of strangers, and will execute judgments among you.
Right. He says, don't worry about it. A lot of times what we do, we want to hide from judgment. Yahweh said, go wherever that is you need to go. I'm going to judge you from where you end up at. Don't worry about it. You can leave this situation, go to that situation. You can leave this job and go to that job. You can leave this house and go to that house. You can say, you know what, I'm done with this relationship. I'm going to get in a new relationship. Don't worry. Yahweh going to make the hell follow you into the new relationship. Go ahead.
You shall fall by the sword. I will judge you in the border of Israel, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. This city shall not be your cauldron, neither shall you be the flesh in the midst thereof. But I will judge you in the border of Israel. And you shall know that I am Yahweh, for you have not walked in my statutes, neither executed my judgments, but have done after the manners of the heathen that are round about you.
Those are the people that we spend our chief time with. And we pick up their ways. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when I prophesied, that Pelathiah the son of Benaiah died. Then fell I down upon my face, and cried with a loud voice, and said, Adonai Elohim, will you make a full end of the remnant of Israel? Again the word of Yahweh came on to me, saying, Son of man, your brethren, even your brethren, the men of your kindred, and all the house of Israel holy, are they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, Get you far from Yahweh. Unto us is this land given in possession. Therefore say, Thus says the Adonai Elohim, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come.
Right. I will be unto them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. Even though he's going to deal with the children of Israel, he will also provide a way of escape if you take it. But see, the path of escape is narrow. It won't fit you and your pride. See, sometimes you get to a doorway and you realize, you know what, I got to turn sideways to get through this door. It's narrow.
you think Yahweh is the maker of heaven and earth and all that in them is. Surely he could have afforded a bigger door. Now he made the door small for a reason. You and your pride ain't coming. Now, which one gonna be left behind? Go ahead.
Verse 17. Therefore say, thus says the Adonai Elohim, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where you have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof and all the abominations thereof from thence.
Wait a minute. Israel have a job to do. You're not just going in and then you're going to go sit down and enjoy and kick your feet up. Now all the detestable things got to go. He didn't just say, you know what, Adam, man, just come on in and enjoy this garden. Well, no. I got some stuff I need for you to do. Go ahead.
And I'll give them one heart, and I'll put a new spirit within you.
Mm-hmm.
And I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them a heart of flesh.
Right. See, the heart of stone causes us to hear something, but still not accept it. We heard it. We knew it was good. We knew it was right. But there are other things in us that say, you know what, I ain't doing that. Wait a minute. Was it wrong what they told you? No. Well, what's the problem? Oh. Heart of stone will not allow us to accept even that which we know to be correct. We're not guessing whether or not it's correct. We know it's correct. Go ahead.
That they may walk in my statutes and keep mine ordinances and do them. And they shall be my people, and I'll be their Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
But as for them whose heart walks after the heart of their detestable things and their abominations, I'll recompense their way upon their own heads.
Right. But then when their way comes upon their own head, they look to blame everybody else. I can't believe this is happening to me. We forget Yahweh knows every one of those things that came into your mind. Go ahead.
But as far as for them, those whose heart walk after the heart of their detestable things and their abominations, I'll recompense their way upon their own heads, says the Adonai Elohim.
All right. We don't even consider that we are making our own path there as it pertains to being dealt with by Yahweh. We think that that is a decision made by other individuals, but we indeed are making it ourselves. We decide by our own actions how that goes. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 21. See, this generation don't even remember. They haven't had to endure certain things. When I was young, the folks made you go and pick your own switch. See, these folks don't know nothing about that. They make you go get the switch. See, that was part of the punishment, getting the switch. See, going to get the switch, you was already thinking about the things that you have done while you picking the switch. See? And it's a process because you are now thinking about the size of the switch based on what you have done. And you're going to know when you get one that's not suitable because they send you back outside. Nope, that ain't big enough. What? What do you mean? So after a while, you begin to realize, you know what? Last time I did this, I had to get a switch from over there. You begin to realize the transgression and the size of the switch you need for that. Wait a minute. Something's happening. Grandmama was a genius. You starting to figure out now in the middle of the act. What? Uh-oh. What happened? I just seen the switch in my head. She gonna make me pick the one from that other tree. You know what? Now, James, you go ahead, bro. Now, you go ahead. This one yours. You got this one all by yourself. You got this one. You got this one. My memory has come back all of a sudden. It come back. I remember going to get that switch. No. Okay. There was a method to what we thought meant nothing. Proverbs 21, and let's read verses 9 through 27.
It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house.
This ain't going to say we're staying in a big old house with a brawling man. I want to sit in and you say how wonderful these granite countertops is. Look how beautiful it is. But all you do is fuss all damn day. Nobody want to be in there. You know what? Take me back to a one-bedroom apartment where there's peace. Go ahead.
The soul of the wicked desires evil. His neighbor finds no favor in his eyes. When the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise. When the wise is instructed, he receives knowledge.
Uh-huh.
The righteous man wisely considers the house of the wicked, but Elohim overthrows the wicked for their wickedness. Whoso stops his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard.
So in other words, he's going to get what he put out. You stop your ear from hearing, and then when it's your turn, nobody's going to be able to hear you. That's what you put out. That's what you're going to get. Go ahead.
A gift in secret pacifies anger, and a reward in the bosom, strong wrath. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of lawlessness. The man that wanders out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Wait a minute. Whoa. The man that wanders out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Where's the congregation of the dead? Oh, those friends you had before you decided to enter into the word. And the congregation of the dead is constantly calling you back. They miss you. You brought much joy to those dead individuals. It says they shall remain in the congregation of the dead. You don't have to go look for the congregation of the dead. You was already part of it. In him is life. He says, I'm not the Elohim of the dead, but the Elohim of the living. You are already a part of the congregation of the dead and never even knew it. Go ahead.
He that loves pleasure shall be a poor man.
Mm-hmm.
He that loves wine and oil shall not be rich.
Uh-huh.
The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman.
It is better to dwell in the woods than with a contentious and angry woman. Make sure you put man there too. Yeah, some people just always mad, no matter what. Happy stuff happen. They still mad at the happy stuff. Man, so I got to deal with all this damn sunlight. Why it's so bright out here? What is wrong with you? Go ahead.
There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spends it up. He that follows after righteousness and mercy finds life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scales the city of the mighty and casts down the strength of the confidence thereof. Whoso keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps his soul from troubles.
And sometimes it's the hardest thing for us. We can't keep from flapping those gums. Sometimes the best thing for us to do is shut your mouth. Them folks give you a thing, they said you had a right to remain silent. What we do? Start talking. Officer, I couldn't wait till you came over here. I've been dying to tell somebody. Shut up. But no, we still want to play tit for tat. No, somebody said something to me, so I gotta say something. Go ahead.
Proud and haughty scorner is his name, who deals in proud wrath.
Now, why those two right behind each other? proud and haughty scorner is his name, who deals in proud wrath. You get yourself a name whether you know it or not. You ever consider the name that you call you? Will Yahweh call you that name? Will Yahshua call you the same name that you name yourself? Or will he call you by your actions? I don't think you want to hear coming through the gate, hey, look, there go proud scorner. What? Who? Go ahead.
The desire of the slothful kills him, for his hands refuse to labor. He covets greedily all the day long, but the righteous gives and spares not. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he brings it with a wicked mind?
Wait a minute. The sacrifice of the wicked. Now, the wicked is bringing a sacrifice, but it's an abomination. Now, it's even more of an abomination because it is brought with a wicked mindset. Yahweh doesn't have to accept something just because we offered it. If it's tainted, it is not acceptable. Go ahead. That was it. Let's go. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 31. Yahweh gave us this example early in the book, dealing with Cain and Abel. He does not have to accept your offering just because you offered it. And we feel justified. Well, I'm here, ain't it? Yeah, but you're here in nastiness. You'd be better off not being here. Deuteronomy 31, and let's read verses 1 through 9.
And Moshe went and spake these words unto all Israel. And he said unto them, I'm 120 years old this day. I can no more go out and come in. Also Yahweh has said unto me, you shall not go over this Jordan.
Now, no matter how much work he's done, he has this desire to go with these people. He's done all of this. He has fought with these people over and over. They have blamed him for things that he did not do. At least let me go over and see the land. Yahweh said, no, we done talking about it. Talk to me no more about going over. This is as far as you're going to go. You can never tell when Yahweh has something greater for you than what you can imagine for yourself. The greatest thing he can possibly think of is going over to this land. He has worked so hard. Nobody else has gone through what he's gone through. And he wants to go and see. Let me see it. I've gotten blamed for things that I didn't do. I've had to go through a lot of changes. Just let me go. No, he got a better land for him. No. They're going to see the natural part. I have a real part for you. But if you go over there, I can't take you up here. And we will argue for the lesser. Because that's as far as our mind will allow us to go. Go ahead.
Yahweh your Elohim, he will go over before you, and he will destroy these nations from before you, and you shall possess them. And Yahshua, he shall go over before you, as Yahweh has said.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh shall do unto them as he did to Sihon and to Og, kings of the Amorites, and unto the land of them whom he destroyed.
You know what you didn't see? Yahweh tells Moshe he not going. But the guy you've been working hand in hand with, he going. You notice he didn't try to sabotage Yahshua? You notice he didn't try to make no fights with Yahshua? You notice he didn't try to belittle Yahshua? He said, y'all better listen to him. It's him who Yahweh gonna send you over with. He didn't try to belittle him. Even though he wanted that spot, Yahshua got the spot that he wanted. But he didn't attack Yahshua. He know, you know what? That's a good man. Y'all listen to him. I'm upset that Yahweh won't let me go. But I ain't going to attack him for what Yahweh won't let me do. That's also the heart of a good man. Because he didn't know what all Yahweh had in store for him. And it was better than what he gave Yahshua. But not if he would have tweaked out on Yahshua. But if he had done win, he could have lost all that. He could have lost all of it if he just attacked the man. How you going to let him do what I've been working for? Gone. Just like that. Because now he's dealing with it with a wicked mind. And all it takes is the right amount of feelings. And you're in a wicked mindset. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And Yahweh shall give them up before your face, that you may do unto them according unto all the commandments which I have commanded you. Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For Yahweh your Elohim, he it is that does go with you. He will not fail you, nor forsake you.
Uh-huh.
And Moshe called unto Yahshua, and said unto him in the sight of all Israel.
In the sight of all Israel. This wasn't no private conversation. Go ahead.
Be strong and of a good courage. For you must go with this people unto the land which Yahweh has sworn unto their fathers to give them, and you shall cause them to inherit it. And Yahweh, he it is that does go before you. He will be with you. He will not fail you, neither forsake you. Fear not, neither be dismayed.
Wait a minute. He is justifying the man in the presence of the people. Go ahead.
And Moshe wrote this law and delivered it unto the priests, the sons of Levi, which bear the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, and unto all the elders of Israel.
Unto all the elders of Israel. He's doing this and setting forth order, even though he's not happy with how it's happening. He believes that he has served enough to be able to be the one to take them over. But when Yahweh has plans, he has plans. And we have to be careful how we operate when he does display his plans. Brother, let me get you to read the definition for elders. He said he delivered these things unto the elders.
From H2205, Zekon, old, age, ancient man, elder, eldest, old man, old men and women, senator.
So when we're dealing with elders, there's elder men, there's elder women. So understand that this goes both ways when it comes down to having the respect of an elder. Now, we need to also understand the difference between eldership and seniority. See, a lot of times when, people might come in, they're already 50 years old, and they say, I'm an elder. But you have to understand there's a difference between being an elder naturally and being an elder in that particular vineyard. See, if you work for Bell South for 20 years, and then you change and say, you know what, I'm going to go work for Verizon. Now, you might have had 20 years seniority at AT&T, but you on day one at Verizon now. But you got to understand, the work you might have done somewhere else, that's in another vineyard. That vineyard no longer exists, or you found an issue with that vineyard. You had to move to another vineyard. So then you may have a situation where somebody is 50 years old naturally, but then there's a 30-year-old who has more seniority than the 50-year-old. How is that? The 30-year-old been working since they were 15. They got 15 years seniority in that vineyard. the other individual is an elder, but they just started yesterday. So that person who just started yesterday is still due the respect of an elder. But understand that other individual has seniority in that vineyard. Understand the difference. I want you to read Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 32 for me.
You shall rise up before the hoary head and honor the face of the old man and fear your Elohim.
Now, this doesn't say honor the old man who is in the office of an elder. See, your hair don't wait to be gray until you are accepted as an elder in the congregation. You know your hair don't give a damn. See, if that's the case, a whole lot of people would be able to hold off gray. But no, they ain't accepted me as an elder yet. Make sure all this stay dark and lovely. No. See, now we're not dealing with whether or not somebody has been named or has a position of an elder. This is dealing with their natural age. Then there's a certain amount of respect that goes with that. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 16 first. Proverbs 16. And we're going to read verses 17 through 31.
Verse 17. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keeps his way preserves his soul. Pride goes before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. He that handles a matter wisely shall find good.
Wait a minute. He that handles a matter wisely, we don't even consider that Yahweh may be leading us up to a situation to see, let's see how you handle this, to see if you are prepared to move to the next level. But then he watches how we handle the situation. And it may be that, no, you don't get the promotion. Matter of fact, you've dealt with the situation so badly, you're going to get demoted. Go ahead.
You know, Elder, even sometimes in the midst of a situation, you can start out handling it wrong. And before it's all said and done, if you watching your actions in the midst, thinking about what's going on, you can turn around and turn that all the way around before it's even done.
Most definitely. Yahweh deals with the ending of a matter. He's going to watch and see what happens. Remember, it says there was two sons. He said, go and work in my vineyard. One of them said, I go, sir, but he didn't go. Mm-hmm. The other one said, I ain't going, but he repented and went. So he started off wrong, but he ended right. It's where you at the end of this game. Go ahead.
And whoso trusts in Yahweh, happy is he. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increase learning. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that has it, but the instruction of fools is folly. The heart of the wise teaches his mouth, and adds learning to his lips.
Mm-hmm. So some of those things that we got that came out of our mouth, they came forth out of our heart. So a lot of times, those spirits, the alcohol that we drink, we blame that for a whole lot of things. Well, you know, it's because I had been drinking that Glenmo. And then when I hit that Glenmo, it made me say something. Now, Glenmo didn't make you say nothing. Now, that was already in your heart. Glenmo caused you not to be able to hold it in. Don't blame Glenmo. Go ahead.
Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. There is a way that seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Now you have to ask yourself, why does that seem right to you? Go ahead.
He that labors for himself, for his mouth craves it of him. An ungodly man digs up evil, and in his lips there is as a burning fire. A froward man sows strife, and a whisperer separates chief friends.
An ungodly man digs up evil. Wait a minute. You dig up evil. Said it wasn't even no evil there. But you keep digging until you find it. Go ahead.
A violent man entices his neighbor and leads him into the way that is not good.
Now, a violent man then causes a situation where he entices his neighbor to get in a bad situation. The neighbor minding his own business, but the violent man entices him. And now the neighbor off into some violence now that the neighbor wasn't even trying to get into. Go ahead.
He shuts his eyes to devise froward things. Moving his lips, he brings evil to pass. The hoary head is a crown of glory if it be found in the way of righteousness.
A hoary head is a gray-headed man. There's a certain amount of respect that we owe individuals based on their time on earth. Go ahead.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that rules his spirit than he that takes a city.
Wait a minute. He that rules his spirit. A lot of times you hear people and they have an excuse for why this happened to them or why that happened to them. Well, I did this because. In other words, they don't have rule over their spirit. They're saying, this thing made me do that, or that thing made me do this. In other words, you can't control your spirit. So whatever comes into play then overrules your spirit. That is a problem. Go ahead, brother. You finish that?
The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of Yahweh.
All right. Let's go to Job chapter 32. Job chapter 32, and let's read verses 1 through 11.
Job chapter 32 and verse 1.
Yeah, go ahead.
So these three men ceased to answer Job because he was righteous in his own eyes. Then was kindled the wrath of Elihu, the son of Barachel, the Buzite, of the kindred of Ram. Against Job was his wrath kindled, because he justified himself rather than Elohim. Also against these three friends was his wrath kindled, because they had found no answer, and yet had condemned Job. Now Elihu had waited till Job had spoken, because they were elder than he.
Stop. Even though he does not agree with them, he's disagreeing in order. I don't believe what y'all saying. I don't agree. But he's waiting because that individual is elder than he. He ain't just talking while he's talking. Understand that we're reading about a disagreement. See, we think that once we get in a disagreement, then all rules are off. Like we can violate all rule and all culture because we got angry. This is a disagreement. Keep reading.
When Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of these three men, then his wrath was kindled. And Elihu, the son of Barachel, the Buzite, answered and said, I'm young, and you're very old.
Stop. I'm young. You are very old. He waited until they were done speaking. Go ahead.
Wherefore I was afraid,
Uh-huh.
and durst not show you mine opinion.
Because of the honor that you are due, because you are an aged individual, I didn't even want to give my opinion. We don't have that problem these days. They got a whole new term for disrespect now. They just said YN. The YNs don't care what they say and who they say it to. They don't care who they hurt. Go ahead.
I said, days should speak, and multitude of years should teach wisdom.
Uh-huh.
But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty gives them understanding. Great men are not always wise, neither do the aged understand judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore I said, hearken to me. I also will show mine opinion. Behold, I waited for your words. I gave ear to your reasons, whilst you searched out what to say.
Wait a minute. I waited for your words. They're not yelling back and forth at each other because he respects the order, even though he does not agree. Even though that this may be an disagreement. They're not yelling trying to figure out who's going to talk the loudest. Because he's not talking when the aged man is speaking. This is something that we have to understand that Yahweh is going to hold us accountable for. He's going to watch and see how we operate. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 3. We can't have all of these things and say, oh, yeah, we know the commandments of Yahweh. And the first situation happened, we done forgot that we need to show respect. Isaiah chapter 3, and I want you to read verses 1 through 12.
For behold, the Adonai, Yahweh of hosts, does take away from Jerusalem and from Judea the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. The mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the prophet, and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes to rule over them.
This is a system of judgment, and it's wicked. The righteous judgment system has been turned upside down. Instead of having the respect for the elders, the children telling the elders what to do. The children are behaving themselves proudly against the ancient. But see, a lot of things we also do that encourages that disrespect. Because we let some upside down things happen, and we don't do nothing about it. And when we allow too many of those things, it causes us an issue. We know that at 20, you are being held responsible for the decisions that you make. Anything before that, the parents are held for that. So we have to then be careful what we allow our children to do. And then say, well, hey, it's on you. No, it ain't. It's on you. They ain't 20 yet. Then we have to look. I've had to personally say, all right, now you of a certain age. Ain't nobody sitting in my house while I go to work. You of age. At 7:30, you leaving this house. You ain't come back to this house till 5:30. Now, you ain't got no job. Hated it. You getting the hell out of here. I's be's dams. If I'm going to work and somebody going to be sitting off in my house while I'm at work. When I leave here at 7:30, we leaving here at 7:30. When I come back at 5:30, then you can stand at that mailbox and wait, and we can walk in together. But I's be's dams. His eyes going to be working. And there's a grown knuckle in my house waiting for me to get through the door. How was your day? See, we help turn all of that upside down. And we got to take responsibility for what we helped turn upside down. And the individual that I had to do that to got their stuff together, now in a house with a kid moving in the right direction. Sometimes we think we're helping somebody, and what you're doing is enabling them. Go ahead, Bree.
Verse 5. And the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable.
Right. Now, when the child starts getting out of line, and we start saying that child is disrespectful, what has that child watched you do that caused that child to become disrespectful toward you? See, those are the things that we don't put in the scenario. We'll then say, watch your mouth, boy. Yeah. What the boy just watch you do, though? See? Now, what part of that do you have to own up to? You just want to say the boy is disrespectful? What did he see? See, we don't like to do that part, because, see, that part got something to do with us. See? That's another variable in that equation. Go ahead.
When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, you have clothing, be you our ruler, and let this room be under your hand. And that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Yehuda is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against Yahweh, to provoke the eyes of his glory. The show of their countenance does witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
They don't even know to hide it because they believe that they're justified. Go ahead.
Say you to the righteous, that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. As for my people, children are their oppressors.
Children are their oppressors, so they don't understand the righteous setup of things. They don't understand the respect that they're supposed to give a aged individual, because they think this is normal. Go ahead.
And women rule over them. O my people, they which lead you cause you to err, and destroy the way of your paths.
Now, it's so funny. It says the women rule over them. Now, a man can't say anything to these upside down individuals, but the women can rule over them with rigor, and they will never have a down thing to say, because they have accepted women rule. See, this is what happened when you come up in houses without a man there. And you have generations of houses that have come up without a man there. So they respect the voice of the woman. The woman can rule over them and say anything to them. The first thing a man says, oh, he disrespected me. He said hello. But he said it manly. So his hello had too much bass in it? Because mama said that's softer. Right. And they're going to do exactly what this book says. So the women rule over them. Then the first baby they have from the woman who's ruling over them, the child will be their oppressor. Oh, it's an equation. Because you already worship the woman that brought forth. You worship the goose that brought forth the golden egg. So now part of allowing the egg to rule over you is because you still worship the goose. Right. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 5. And all of this is a problem with Yahweh, by the way. Because once you start worshiping other things, these things are now sitting in his seat. You know, well, I came to your house, and your wife was in my seat. Now I'm gonna let that slide today. Next time I come back here, You need to make sure your wife ain't sitting in my seat. We don't understand how dangerous that is by allowing somebody else to have so much authority that they sit in Yahweh's seat. You realize you're putting that person in danger? Because if Yahweh wants to further that relationship with you, you got to get that person out that seat. I don't think you want Yahweh to get them out of that seat. You might want to get them out of that seat. If you move them out the seat, they can still walk. If Yahweh have to remove them out of that seat, there's going to be lasting consequences for him having to remove them out of his seat. 1 Timothy chapter 5, and start with verses 1 through 2.
Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, the elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity.
Now, if you've been raised by a woman and you have woman worship, you have no problem with verse 2. The elder women as mothers, all of us, we have no problem. We'll accept everything that they say. But because we have a problem with male authority, we have a problem with verse 1 when there's a male involved. Jump to verse 17.
Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine.
Wait a minute. Now we got levels unto this now. So you have the honor and respect that a regular aged man is due, that a regular aged woman is due. Then you have the individuals who have labored in the word. They are due double that amount. Go ahead.
For the scripture says, you shall not muzzle the ox that treads out the corn.
Wait a minute. If you don't muzzle the ox that treads out the corn, so the ox is treading the corn, he get to eat of the corn that he's working in that field. Wait a minute. When you decide, this is part of the double honor. You have an elder who's working. He has the ability to say some things that others can't say. Why? That's due him because of his job and position. Go ahead.
And the laborer is worthy of his reward.
The laborer is worthy of his reward. Go ahead.
Against an elder receive not an accusation.
How is it that anybody can just come and tell you something about an elder and you ain't even try to check on it? You just accept it. Go ahead.
But before 2 or 3 witnesses, them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear.
Them that sin, you have to do that and deal with it openly so that everybody understands not to go down that path. Let's go to Yohanan, John chapter 15.
You know, Elder, even with that statement, rebuke before all, we didn't understand when our parents used to say, you get it where you act up at.
Right.
That was that, taking care of that business right there.
Yep. You see, we also watch some stuff, and we watch, those other kids, and they were able to say stuff to their parents, and they let them have it right there in the store. Come on, Mom, I said I want it now. We like, wow, we look, and the kid, he's still living and breathing and everything. Wow. So we don't do it right away. We look, but now we testing our boundaries now. Yeah, well, I'm gonna try that right there. That look. I like the way that kid said that with authority, and the mama listened. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Yeah. So we give it about a week and a half. Yeah. Mom was in. All right, baby, it's time to come on in. I'm out here playing, Mom. And that's all we remember. We don't remember coming back in the house. We just remember waking up. You know what I'm saying? How did I get back in this house? Oh, no. You passed out. when she put them hands on you after you hollered at her and told her, you was busy. All right? You learn the difference from that which you saweth and that which you going to do with. You learn that day. But if the parent decide that they're not going to show that, they have just created a monster. Go ahead, Bree.
I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he takes away.
Uh-huh.
And every branch that beareth fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
Wait a minute. If the branch doesn't bring fruit, if the branch gets to the point that it's not fruitful, it must be taken away. But if it does bring forth fruit, you still got to cut off a piece of it so it'll bring forth more fruit. Either way, there's loss. There's loss to get more gain, or there's loss for a greater loss. You're going to lose big, or you're going to lose a little so you can gain more. Go ahead.
Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, no more can you, except you abide in me.
Right. Our problem is we think that we are producing our own fruit without the vine. Yeshua says, I have not lost any, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. That which Yahweh has called you to keep, you can't lose. I was talking to the brothers a couple weeks ago. I said, have you noticed that we get better every time we lose something? I said, that's because we ain't lost nothing. People want to know, how is it we can still afford things even when we lose people? Like I said, we ain't lost nothing. See, when you got those individuals who ain't putting but $2 in the bucket, you don't miss the $2 when they gone. When you got people who are really a part of the congregation, you'll feel that when they gone. Like I said, we ain't never lost nothing. We don't miss them $2. People don't understand. Yahweh will sit around and say, all right, I don't have enough. Get him. This is why the woman who gave the 2 mites gave the most of all. He said, well, no. See, the bigger the sacrifice, the bigger the blessing. No. She gave all that she had. He said she's giving more than anybody. Why? Because I know what she got. See, we don't know how to look at things. We don't know what we're looking at. Yahweh know what he's looking at. Go ahead.
I am the vine, you are the branches. He that abides in me, and I in him, the same bring forth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered, and men gather them, and cast them into the fire, and they are burnt. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you.
Mm-hmm.
Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit, so shall you be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Continue in my love. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you.
Right. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. What kind of love do you think Yahweh has for you? If you don't believe he has any love for you, then you're not going to show any love to your brethren or your sister. Go ahead.
Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Right. And we won't even be inconvenienced for our friends. We don't understand. If it's not any inconvenience, it's not an offering anyway. It didn't inconvenience you at all? Well, it ain't no offering. Somehow we ain't figured that out. If it didn't mean nothing to you, it didn't mean nothing to him either. Right. Brother, let me get you to read the definition of purge for me.
From G2508, kathero. From G2513, to cleanse. That is, specifically, to prune. Figuratively, to expiate. Purge.
All right. Go to the next graphic for me and read Leviticus 25 and verse 4.
But in the 7th year shall be a Shabbat of rest unto the land, a Shabbat for Yahweh. You shall neither sow your field nor prune your vineyard.
So now we get from purge to prune. Now read the definition of prune for me.
H2168, zamar, a primitive root compared to H2167 and H5568 and H6785, to trim a vine, to prune.
All right. So then as we purge, we are then pruning to cut away at something so that we can add. So Yahweh says, if the vineyard, if this vine is fruitful, cut off a piece of the vine and the vine will become more fruitful. You can't be afraid of the part that you're going to cut off. Because there's growth coming behind that which you cut off. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 5. Go ahead, bro.
You know, you just mentioned when there's growth from the vine you cut off. And sometimes we look at loss because you cut off the vine, but that same vine is now producing more.
Right.
So we look at situations when somebody's gone, other people say, man, I miss that person. Somebody else said, nah, now I need to step up and take care of this person's position.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got somebody adding to their talents.
Mm-hmm. And some people didn't know they had it until they were made to step up.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the position that was being taken up by the previous vine was keeping this vine from growing. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, and let's read verses 1 through 7.
Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear, than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
Right. So be careful what you end up letting come out of your mouth just because you feel some kind of way. We kind of forget that we have invited the angel. We have forgotten that we operate. Yahweh says, be careful, for I walk amongst your camp. Lest I see any uncleanness and decide not to reside there because of the uncleanness that I saw walking through your camp. Go ahead.
Be not rash with your mouth,
Uh-huh.
and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim.
Now, we'll utter anything, especially when we feel justified of that anything. And all we need for justification is to get angry. Go ahead.
For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth. Therefore let your words be few. For a dream comes through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words. When you vow a vow unto Elohim, defer not to pay it, for he has no pleasure in fools. Pay that which you have vowed.
Mm-hmm.
Better is it that you should not vow than that you should vow and not pay. Suffer not your mouth to cause your flesh to sin.
Suffer not your mouth to cause your flesh to sin. Go ahead.
Neither say you before the angel that it was an error.
Our problem is we don't see the angel. Go ahead.
Wherefore should Elohim be angry at your voice and destroy the work of your hands?
Wait a minute. If he's angry at your voice and destroy the work of your hands, you have lost credit for some of the work that you've done. You just put a blemish on your own work by what you let come out your mouth. Go ahead.
For in the multitude of dreams and many words there are also diverse vanities, but fear you, Elohim.
All right. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 13. 1 Samuel chapter 13, and I just want you to read verses 5 through 12.
And the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel, 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen, and people as the sand which is on the seashore in multitude. And they came up and pitched in Michmash, eastward from Beth-aven. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves, and in thickets, and in rocks, and in high places, and in pits.
All right, so now this is a tumultuous situation. Go ahead.
And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Elohim and Gilead. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling. And he tarried 7 days, according to the set time that Samuel had appointed. But Samuel came not to Gilgal, and the people were scattered from him.
Right. Yahweh is making Samuel show up late. And it's going to force some weak-spirited man to make a move. Go ahead.
And Saul said, Bring hither a burnt offering to me, and peace offerings. And he offered the burnt offering. And it came to pass that as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, behold, Samuel came. And Saul went out to meet him, that he might salute him.
So now he has done Samuel's job, because he said Samuel ain't, he didn't come at the appointed time. Samuel is not on time. So now he made a move that he is not authorized to make. Go ahead.
And Samuel said, What have you done? And Saul said, Because I saw that the people were scattered from me, and that you came not within the days appointed.
You have to notice the blame shifting that goes on with weak-spirited individuals. They will never take credit for the situation at hand. Every apology ends with a pointing. Yeah, I did this because, but why is all of that in your statement? Because you refuse to acknowledge and take responsibility for your own doing. Because you came not at the time appointed. Go ahead.
And that the Philistines gathered themselves together at Michmash.
Right. So there's two things now. He's putting together, you didn't come at the appointed time, and these people were gathering. Go ahead.
Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down now upon me in Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto Yahweh. I forced myself, therefore, and offered a burnt offering.
I forced myself. Now, I'm more right because you was more wrong. I forced myself because you were not on time. Now, this is a king. You can't be in charge of a situation, but somehow the responsibility of the wrong belongs to everybody else. When you sit in that seat, everything that goes wrong is your fault. Ain't no this person did that or that person did. Who in charge? But that's who fault it is. Ain't no the people did this. No. Who is in charge? Understand where heads Yahweh come for first. Yahweh don't start at the bottom and work his way up to the top. He started at the top and work his way to the bottom. In his own house, he said, start at the ancients, start at the elders, and then work your way on down. All right. We need to understand exactly what that means. Let's go to James chapter 1. See, we ask for positions with authority. But then when something goes wrong, we don't want to take the responsibility that goes hand in hand with the authority. They cannot be separated. That is a package deal. You can't have a car with no tires. You can't have power without the responsibility that goes along with that power. So ain't no, this person didn't do that, or because they said something to me, this is why I did that. Who in charge? It is that same charge that makes us responsible as priests to deal with something. Because Yahweh is going to go on multiple levels. All right? So tell me what you said when you saw it. You didn't say nothing? Did you all together hold your peace? Now, a person who didn't have no say in it is now also part of the judgment because they went up the ladder. And Yahweh want to know what you do. You a person in authority in this situation. What did you say? Oh, you held your peace. Oh, so you had peace within yourself. All right. Well, you had that peace at my expense. Get back. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man works not the righteousness of Elohim. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But be you doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Wait a minute. We must be doers of the word, not just people who heard the word and we can regurgitate it, but then when situation and circumstance come upon us, we don't remember any of it. Go ahead.
For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholds himself and goes his way, and straightway forgets what manner of man he was.
Straightway forget what manner he was. This is why you get people and they keep asking you the same questions over and over. They're trying to reaffirm who they are, and they want you to help them. Go ahead.
For whoso looks into the perfect law of liberty and continues therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridles not his tongue, but deceives his own heart, this man's religion is vain.
If this man is not able to bite his tongue at the time when that mouth should not be moving, something is wrong. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2. First Peter chapter 2, start at verse 1 and then jump to verse 13.
Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings.
Right. And see, sometimes we have so much jealousy and envy going on that it causes other problems. We want other people's position. We want other people's authority. We haven't even considered whether or not we have what it takes to deal with the weight that comes with that authority. Jump to verse 13.
Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Adonai's sake, whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto governors as unto them that are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well. For so is the will of Elohim, that with well-doing you may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, as free, and not using your liberty as a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of Elohim.
Not using your liberty as a cloak of maliciousness, but as servants of Elohim. You use that liberty to do things that are profitable for Yahweh's word. Go ahead.
Honor all men. Love the brotherhood. Fear Elohim. Honor the king.
Honor all men. We're not going to be disrespectful to somebody just because they don't believe what we believe. Go ahead.
Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward.
This is what happens when we have situations, there's an individual of authority that comes in, but we say, no, I'm mad, so I don't need to listen to that individual who has authority right now. Go ahead.
For this is thankworthy, if a man for conscience towards Elohim endure grief, suffering wrongfully. For what glory is it, if, when you be buffeted for your faults, you shall take it patiently? But if, when you do well and suffer for it, you take it patiently, this is acceptable with Elohim.
We can't take patiently the punishment of our own wrongdoing. We have rendered ourselves unworthy. Yet we want to be baptized in the name of Yahshua, who suffered for our sins, but we can't even suffer for our own sins. Go ahead.
For even hereunto were you called, because the Mashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that you should follow his steps. Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. Who, when he was reviled not again.
Oh, no, not us. No. Let somebody say something to me, I got to say something back immediately. Go ahead.
When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judges righteously.
Oh, man, we get to threatening so quick. Our posture is threatening. Our words become threatening. Our movements become threatening. But we want to say we baptize in the name of Yahshua, and we want to take a hold and a part of being baptized unto his death, but we ain't going to go through nothing. Somebody say something to us, we need to say something back immediately. We need to get off in that. But then ask Yahweh to make sure I'm covered by the blood of the Lamb. Go ahead.
Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes you were healed. For you were as sheep going astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls.
All right. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13. First Corinthians chapter 13, and we're going to read verses 4 through 13.
Love suffers long and is kind. Love envies not.
Wait a minute. We already got a problem. You have people riddled with envy. And the people who envy, they're never going to admit that they are envious. They have to make another reason why they have a problem with an individual. They're not just going to say, I'm envious. But all the signs are going to show you that they are envious. Go ahead.
Love vaunts not itself, is not puffed up, does not behave itself unseemly, seeks not her own, is not easily provoked.
Wait a minute. It's not easily provoked. We are provoked at the blowing of a wind. Go ahead.
Thinks no evil. Rejoices not in lawlessness, but rejoices in the truth.
Right. We'll find folk that'll rejoice at even the appearance of a downfall of something that they're not a part of. Go ahead.
Fears all things, believe all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Well, the problem is when we have trauma, the pause button on life comes in. See? So we may be getting up to a point about 10 or 11 years old. A traumatic event happens. We keep growing naturally. We get to 30 or 40. But spiritually, we are still at the spiritual aptitude of the 10-year-old where the traumatic event happened. And if you don't deal with it, you end up being a 40-year-old, 10-year-old. Because you're stuck emotionally at the point of that traumatic event. And it becomes confusing to people because they look at this individual who looks strong outwardly, they look big outwardly, but inwardly they are at the same age of their trauma. They still 10. And we ain't going to deal with it by keep throwing it under the rug. Go ahead, Pri.
For now we see through a glass, darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. And now abides faith, hope, love, these three, but the greatest of these is love.
All right. Let's go to Galatians chapter 6. Galatians chapter 6, and we're going to read verses 1 through 10.
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, you which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering yourself, lest you also be tempted.
Wait a minute. Here is where the eldership and the seniority comes into play. Wait a minute. You should be exercised in some things. This is why we have some children that are more advanced than some adults. They may not be the elders, but they have seniority. Why? Some of them have been going through this their entire lives. They have never known anything else. You who have been exercised, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. We can't say that we have this authority, we have this experience. Well, why were you not able to restore in the spirit of meekness? Why were you so easily provoked? Where is that spirit that you speak of? Understand, the adversary of the devil is going to test all of us. Go ahead.
Bear you one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Yahshua.
Wait a minute. We can't bear one another's burdens for a couple seconds. We're already blame shifting. But Yahshua, go ahead and die for my sin. But I'm not finna carry none of my brothers, none of my sisters. I ain't trying to help or deal with none of that. Go ahead.
For if a man think himself to be something, when he is nothing, he deceives himself. Let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another. For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teaches in all good things. Be not deceived. Elohim is not mocked. For whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap.
Elohim is not mocked. What you put out, you are going to get. What you planted in that ground is what's going to grow in your life. Elohim is not mocked. You can show Elohim one thing or present one thing outwardly to the people. And he says, I know every one of those things that go on in your mind. He's not fooled by what the display is. And you have people that say, well, this keep happening to me. It happened to me here. It happened to me there. You may want to change what you're planting. Go ahead.
For he that sows to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that sows to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And let us not be weary in well-doing. For in due season we shall reap, if we faint not. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men.
What men?
All men.
Okay.
Especially unto them who are of the household of faith.
Wait a minute. Then that's a whole nother level. There's the good that we're supposed to be able to do to anyone. And then there's the good that we're supposed to show one another. There's supposed to be something different among the household of faith. If we can deal with those of the household of faith like we dealing with somebody out on the street, then there's something missing in us. Brother, read the scripture for the next graphic for me.
Wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent that you may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless.
So, not only are we aiming to have our offering without spot and without blemish, if we go through all the ups and downs, the fails, then we get to not only have a unblemished sacrifice, but we ourselves can be an unblemished sacrifice if we go through all of those things and let them work on us. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 9. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, and we're going to read verses 1 through 7.
For as touching the ministering to the saints, it is superfluous for me to write to you. For I know the forwardness, of your mind, for which I boast of you to them in Macedonia, that Achaia was ready a year ago, and your zeal has provoked very many.
So wait a minute, your zeal, they have heard of how much you labored within the gospel, and it has provoked them to want to do some things. Go ahead.
Yet have I sent the brethren, lest our boasting of you should be in vain in this behalf, that, as I said, you may be ready. Least happily, if they of Macedonia come with me and find you unprepared, we say not, you should be ashamed in this same confident boasting.
Right. Wait a minute. This boasting is going to come back to me null and void if I've spoken well of you and how you operate in the word. And then if they come with me when I come and you're not prepared, I'm going to look like a fool. All this time I've been talking about how great you are, and then you ain't prepared. Go ahead.
Therefore I thought it necessary to exhort the brethren, that they would go before unto you, and make up beforehand your bounty. Wherefore you had noticed before that the same might be ready, as a matter of bounty, and not as of covetousness. But this I say, he which sows sparingly shall reap also sparingly. And he which sows bountifully shall reap also bountifully.
All right. What did you put in? Did you spare your time sparingly? Was your offering sparingly? You're going to get it the same way you put it in. You don't have no time for Yahweh, don't worry. There's going to be a time when you're going to call on him. He ain't going to have no time for you. You can't be inconvenienced at all for Yahweh. Don't worry. It's going to come a time when you're going to want deliverance right then, and he will not be inconvenienced for you. You get what you put in. Go ahead.
Every man according as his purpose in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for Elohim loves a cheerful giver.
Right. If you can't give it with the right heart, don't give it. If you can't offer your time with a correct spirit, don't offer it. You are blemishing your own offering. Whereas you may be counting that, but Yahweh not counting it because he sees the state of your heart and mind while offering it. King David said, I cannot offer that which costs me nothing. If it ain't inconvenient, it ain't counting towards you anyway. If you won't miss it, he didn't see it. Let us keep those things in mind. And maybe because we have been the beneficiaries of a whole lot of what the daughter of Babylon set up, that we don't think none of this is something we're going to have to deal with. The earth is greatly changing right before our eyes. And you may want to start paying attention to these things concerning Yahweh, because something tell me very soon we're going to need to cash in on this. But if you ain't putting that in, you're not going to have nothing to withdraw. That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.